Welcome and thank you for taking the time to watch this short film about our current exhibition, Spring into Action, in which 21 local artists have donated works of art, the proceeds of which through sales will go towards the Jersey Women's Refuge and the Bailiff's COVID-19 Appeal Fund. My name is Chris Clifford and I'm the Gallery Director, and it gives me great pleasure to provide you with some insights into the beautiful, intriguing and at times funny artworks that form part of this show. I'd like to thank our exhibition sponsors, the architectural practice Axis Mason and T&G Engineering, both of whom operate from here at Romeril House in St Helier. And I'd also like to thank Lady Dalton, the exhibition patron, who is a great supporter of the arts here in Jersey and a regular attendee at the gallery. The gallery is now open daily from midday to 6 p.m. weekdays or at any other time by appointment, and Spring into Action runs until the 14th of June, so I hope you will pay us a visit, but most importantly that you buy one or two of these incredibly beautiful artworks to show your support for our frontline carers. The idea of the show came a week after lockdown started, when the reality of the situation started to kick in. I immediately started to think about practical ways in which I could do something constructive and positive to help frontline medical staff and carers, and those community organisations impacted by the coronavirus. So I decided to contact a small but very select group of artists, all of whom have a connection to Jersey, and asked if they would be willing to donate an artwork for a fundraising exhibition, the proceeds of which would go to support excellent local fundraising initiatives. Their responses were quick and unanimous, and I soon realised that I wasn't the only one who felt a sense of helplessness and the need to take action. All of the artists featured in this show have been extremely generous with their time and creativity, and I want to thank them all personally for their support, for without that, none of this would have been possible. There is no curated theme for this exhibition. I didn't ask the artists to consider donating works which addressed certain issues or had a distinctive visual aesthetic, so it was a great pleasure to unpack such an array of beautiful, funny, witty, irreverent, meditative, playful and celebratory works of art. When it came to hanging the exhibition, I admit that with such a diverse array of pieces ranging from painting, printmaking, sculpture, photography and collage, I was worried that the show would lack a certain visual cohesion. But once I started to look more carefully at the works, it became evident that definite themes were emerging. Let me expand. So this is our first feature wall. We have three very bright, bold and colourful paintings. The first one here, entitled Marrakesh, is by the very famous Jersey artist Ian Rolls. It looks like an abstract painting. It has colour, texture and shape, but you can see that there are architectural references, and to me it reminds me of Gemelefna Square at the heart of the city. Here we have a wonderful, bright, exuberant and extremely confident painting, abstract painting by the British painter Daniel Porter, who lived for many years in Jersey and now is in the south of France. And here we have a very beautiful geometric abstract painting by Paul John Kilshaw, a very well established local artist and highly collectible. For our second feature wall, what I realised was that lots of the artists that were donating to the show were interested in ideas of urbanism, of street art, urban graffiti. Here we have a painting by James Carter, a really cool image, beautifully framed, looks like a piece of urban street art. Next to it is a very clever photograph by the Russian artist Yulia Makieva. It looks like a grungy urban street scene, but you can see there is a kind of Roman model or statue that's projected onto the hoarding. We have three pieces that are kind of grouped together here. The first image is by Gabriella Street. It's a very beautiful, charming and poetic image of a woman standing on a balcony of a tower block. It looks a bit like a lockdown isolation image. There's another one just here by Gabriella Street also. This one, ironically also taken in Marrakesh, of a woman leaning on a balcony overlooking the souk. In the centre here we have a piece by a Jersey photographer, Will Lakeman. It's called The Sentinel. It's actually Le Colette Flats. The picture was taken a week before Christmas, a couple of years ago. You can see all the balconies illuminated with Christmas decorations and bright colours. Super cool photograph. And finally on this wall we have a digital print remastered image by Allchurch, very famous Jersey artist who now lives in the UK. She did a gallery show here a few years ago. This is an image of all of the architectural renderings of the 19th century British architect Soane that never actually got built into a giant fantasy landscape. Highly collectible. So whilst one group of artists exhibiting in this show were interested in urbanism, street art, graffiti and all the things to do with looking inland, it was evident that another set of artists were interested in looking out to sea and looking at the calming, meditative and reflectant surfaces of water and light. Here is a very beautiful photograph by Gina Socrates. It's actually been inverted, so your eye always tries to struggle to adjust to understand where you're positioned, but as you can see, she signed it on the bottom right here. This is a painting by Romeril, one of Jersey's most established painters. It's a small acrylic on paper. Beautiful painting of a wave. This is by Emily Croft Baker, who's based in the UK. It was painted in St Brillard's Bay on a misty and overcast day that we'll all be very familiar with in Jersey, but very calming, meditative, beautiful ripples of waves. It's an oil on canvas. This is a very long, thin and sort of beachy feel to it. The painting is very kind of dry and cracked surface. There's some beautiful islands in the background on the horizon. You can see the sun setting out west. I think this painting was made in St Juan's Bay. It's by the Jersey artist Lucy Blackmore. And finally we have painting by Kirsty Garcia. Kirsty has exhibited at the gallery a couple of times in the past. These pieces have always proved to be hugely popular. It's ink into wet on wet paper and creates this wonderful kind of marbled effect. This piece is by the Jersey artist Mark Guest. He's a sculptor, as you can see. It's a very beautiful piece of sculpture. It's carved dragonflies. You can see that they're rotating around the surface of the marble. The marble is Roman marble. It looks very traditional and classic, but also super contemporary. And Mark has this great technique where he can carve stone so thin that it actually becomes translucent. Light passes through it. It's very, very elegant. Kiss of Trees on a Furrowed Brow is a very beautiful watercolour painting by Nicola Lucas, who was originally from Birmingham but lived in Jersey for many years. She'll be showing at the gallery later in the year, but this is a wonderful example of her brushwork. The final image in this room is by the Latvian painter, Eliza Anna Rain. She has donated this very beautiful painting. It's a collage. You can see there's magazine cutouts of models, female forms, which has been adhered to the canvas, and then she paints around it in this very distinctive style, creating these beautiful patterns and evocative colours. Again, very beautiful. So as we walk into the second gallery space, we're greeted by a humorous painting by, again, Nicholas Romeril of a toilet roll. Obviously timely with all the things that have happened of late, but it has these beautiful geometric forms and is a highly collectible piece, possibly good for your downstairs toilet at home. Similarly, this piece is by Claire Haythwaite. She's based in the east of the island in Gruville, and she is a ceramicist, and she makes these beautiful pieces of geometric forms, of patterns, of shapes and structures. The clay that she casts in is actually collected by her. She walks out to Seymour Tower at low tide, grabs a bucket full of clay from there, which is apparently very, very good, takes it back to her studio and works with it from there. So beautifully framed and lovely piece. And finally, along with that same theme of geometry, we have a small painting here by Wayne Odra, who's addressing issues of colour, tonal form, structure and geometry. Our final three pieces in the exhibition, the first one here is by Jodie Carney. It's a neon light in the background, a steel frame, but over the top we have some very beautiful hand-created glass art. Looks like surfaces of leaves in different textures and patterns. We have a very bold and courageous photograph here by the Danish photographer Martin Toft. And our final piece in the exhibition is probably by Jersey's preeminent artist, one of the greatest artists Jersey ever produced for many, many years. This is a painting by Jason Martin. Jason has exhibited all over the world, and his work is in many, many important museum collections. This is an investment grade piece of art and a very, very beautiful abstract painting. The exhibition is open to the public Monday to Friday between midday and 6 p.m. or any other time by appointment, and you can contact me via the gallery website, privateandpublic.com. I think it's vital at this moment in our history that we all pull together to do all we can to support each other. These are testing times, but the people of Jersey have always been hugely supportive of charitable causes, so it is my sincerest hope that you will buy one of these brilliant artworks, either for your home or maybe for your office. So, thank you for taking the time to watch this short film. Please take a few more moments to go online to look at our 3D virtual tour and our digital exhibition catalogue, which contains all the information on the participating artists and their artworks. Thank you.